Let's put it. Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. My Microsoft Reactor, and it's not like a nuclear reactor, but it's what their terminology for type of learning at the downtown Toronto, but they're also worldwide. But I've joined last year, and I do listen to some of their stuff, but that's pretty much what from the website is they're learning, but platforms where you can learn is you go usually at Meetup, and then you select um I'll show, sorry. That's where you usually go, is you go to Meetup, and then you just find Microsoft Reactor Toronto, and they have a calendar, and you select pretty much the dates you want to learn, and they have different topics like AI, um, Pythons, web developing, um, and they have different Microsoft employees that will be online and show what they're doing, and that's an of a calendar, and have different stream portal is
This guy.
turned on, and they have different portals. Um,
Yeah.
but feel free to ask questions if you have any. Um, so yeah, and so far I've been watching Dr. G. Um, it's the one on the top, and she has good stuff, and she was telling on how to use Python and fly a rocket from Earth to go to the moon, and from the moon you can fly it to Mars, and you just have to do some coding and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very educational, and very um sorry, I'm trying to find the right words. uh Very knowledgeable with what they show. So but sometimes you have to listen twice when they talk too fast, because taking notes is good, but if you want to replicate what they're doing, is very quick. And that's pretty much where the reactor is located, all those little red dots, and they have different um, Microsoft employees that tell where they're located, and they tell the topics that they are talking about. And I was lucky to find that map, but I selected the one from Toronto because that's where I am. So but they have apparently 10 countries with a lot of members, and they they when you are live on YouTube or any other stream, you just say
He's
hi
a
and
great
where you're
speaker.
located, and they tell like, sorry, speaker. So yeah, and that's one of their stream. They have uh learn TV, but there's also different kinds of streaming that they use depending on what topic you choose on the calendar. I usually go directly to YouTube to listen to what they're saying, um, and that's part of the Learn TV is they have different topics, and I tried to copy what they have, but it was so big, I had to like split it in two. But yeah, that's pretty much what they show on their streaming. They have about space, Pythons, labs, uh, all online during COVID. You could go to Toronto, downtown Toronto, but they'll probably be closed during COVID. But once it reopens, maybe we can visit and see what they have.
Brad,
Yes?
is this a paid membership on this, or is it
No, it's free.
okay?
It's free. So far I didn't heard anything about paying, but it's fully free. Even when you go on the meetup, it's free, and there's all the other stuff they have. It's just that you might need to have Outlook or Hotmail or Live or anything that is based on their emails to log in. Um, if they request for the different streaming, but pretty much YouTube is with Chrome or Google. So, um, but that's an example of the YouTube, their channel, and down further you have videos, and on their homepage they have when you missed an episode or a stream, you can rewatch each individual ones. Like I was listening to Code and Coffee, and also web developing, but sometimes you want to learn, but they have so much talking that you're like doing some other stuff. But yeah, um, that's another example of the Dr. G, and she has different topics, including the ones that use Python to do the moon and traveling to space. And she has good presentation also. Um,
You ask questions?
you mean questions for them? Yes. Yeah, on YouTube they have when it's live. Forgot to mention, there's an actual chat or comment on the side, on the right side, and you can ask questions, and the person at Microsoft that presents, she looks at the screen, and then she tells if it's you or anybody else, and she tells, like, she reads the question and then she answers, or the answer. It's more than male and female, so it's the answer. Yeah, sorry. So that was just an example of with Dr. G learning, like what she does. Um,
Fred,
they also have, yes.
Fred, so it seems like that when they're live, you can ask questions, but then afterwards you can watch the stream again and maybe pause it if you're trying to make notes.
Yes. I even played a trick with YouTube when they were live, with something, and I went backwards on a live thing, and you can actually reset to backwards for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes, and then it comes back once it's finished. So yeah, you can actually pause or rewind to catch what they were saying while and after the live stream. So yeah, and that's the actual website of Microsoft Reactor. I just find that they had a couple of things in it, but with, I mean, different topics also on their website, so that you can learn different things with them. They also have on this side here, they have Internet of Things. That's when you're using software with hardware and you're connecting to the internet to bring something live on as a project. And that's Microsoft Azure. They have some stuff when you try to build codes. They tell you in their live presentation where to go. And they have different codes and structure that you can build with the Visual Studios or Pythons. And the only sad part is that Azure, you have to pay in order to use some of their space, or what, I forget what it is, but there's a way to get it free for a trial way. But I barely or rarely use Microsoft Azure for stuff. So, but it it would be interesting to use their things with it. And that's another area that it's called Microsoft Docs, but they also have code samples of different codes that you can use for different codes software. And they're using either JavaScript or C Sharp or C++, depending on what your code is based on. Um, Personally, I use Android Studio for all my codes, because I have a Android tablet and I put all my apps into it. But I at some point I will learn Visual Studio with codes. Um, they also have learn section in their website, so that you can learn on different stuff that Microsoft have. Um, it's basically you just go into the mic Microsoft I'll post it on the newsletter where to go. It's Microsoft Learn TV, but it's also Microsoft Learn, and that's where the web page brings you to different sections, and then on the top corner there's products, roles, Learn TV, certification. There's different ways of learning about codes, but I just took a snapshot of the web page, and if you want to do codes, it's free. You have Visual Studio Codes. There's also Pythons. There's a free version, and with either three, you can build codes and use Microsoft Reactor or different stuff to learn and do codes just for fun. And that's another example of how the Visual Studio Code looks like. You just basically put in some codes, and then you can see or execute once it's done, just to see if it's working. You can even do desktop software with Visual Studio, just to make it executable software, and then you can click on it, and then it will show you like if you were downloading a real software. And that's another section that they have in Microsoft Docs that you can basically, when you go on live or see something, they also have in their YouTube channel, when it's live, the section where it has the chat, they also pop in URLs to go to, and then you just click on it, and then you have this kind of page that will tell you how to do like a code source or different task, and then you just follow um, each steps, and then you make your codes, and then you can see if the codes are working or not. And they have different with different topics, they have different sections of learning. I kept a few, but I should practice. Uh,
Fred,
yes,
so these are like the handouts for the classes?
it's more like when you listen to one of their um, stream, and you chose a topic. Like my topic would be more with codes and how to program codes. Um, they will have different sections depending where to go to, and it's like a learning site in parallel.
Like homework?
Yeah, it's like homework, and then you just follow step by step on how to do it, and then you just basically execute through Python or different coding software what they want you to do, and then you can see how your results is at the end when you um, do like a test on your code. So far, I've been listening to some of the Dr. G's space stuff, but I didn't had a chance to re-listen to it again and um, pretty much do all the codes. But once I have a free time on weekends, I will definitely check it out. So that's their location is where it's called Mars. It's in downtown and it's just not too far from Queen's Park. So I actually took a snapshot of their location in downtown Toronto. Um, and um, when I have a chance to travel to Toronto, I'm planning to visit that Microsoft's place in downtown Toronto.
It's a very cool building. We've been there because our son used to work there.
Yeah, and it's part of an historical site, so it's nice that they restored it and have companies and businesses there. Um, those are actually, I was requested to do so, but I'm just going to leave it for you guys to take notes. But those are actually the websites that I go to in terms of getting all sorts of learning stuff or materials. I will, however, publish that on the newsletter so that you guys can. But my question for Alex is, can you have hyperlinks so that people can click when they have PDFs?
Oh yeah, they're in every newsletter I issue has hyperlinks in it.
Okay.
So there's no problem. These can all be hyperlinks.
Okay. So that's what I will do is I will publish it on the newsletter so you guys can um, look at these websites, and if you're interested in learning, you can click on it and see what it is. And I will also post on the newsletter and on the I think no, I did. Okay, yeah, it's right here. They also have Facebook and Meetup. And I have also the YouTube channel. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure that I had everything on that slide. But yeah, it'll be on the newsletter and on the Facebook DPCUC Facebook group page.
Fred, if you had never been to Reactor before, which one of these
Uh-huh.
links would you suggest people start with first?
I don't know if you see my mouse, but it would be this one, the one that I'm pointing with Meetup, for if you want to join some of their streaming, depending on where it's located. And the second would be the YouTube. If you just go to YouTube and you just type Microsoft Reactor, you will see their Reactor channel, and then you just click on their well, they have bottom part or somewhere they will have their name on YouTube, and you just click on it, and it will become like let me just go back. It'll bring this page on YouTube, and then you just scroll at their homepage on YouTube. You will have all different section of what they are learning. It's just that I don't have all of it. Well, I can probably sorry, let me just go get it. Mhm. You would go to YouTube, and on search, you just type Microsoft Reactor, and then it's just the first one on top here, and then you just click on it, and it brings you to that page. And then you just scroll down, and you have different section, like you have coffee and codes. Can everyone see my Chrome
No,
No, Fred, we're still watching your PowerPoint.
side?
Well, the last slide I see is the one that shows the YouTube screen from Fred. It's a slide picture.
Oh,
Oh.
but we understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. We could scroll down ourselves if we want to look at it later.
I'm gonna see if they got one on how to learn how to use Access. It's
yeah.
I have
Well, sorry, if
new
you guys
position
don't
now.
see it, but okay. Well, let me just go back to my thing where I was earlier. But yeah, for Excel, you can actually search on YouTube, and they will have Excel tutoring on how to use Microsoft Office 365 Excel.
Yeah, Excel and Access, right, Linda?
Yes. So yeah, I'm willing to have any questions for now. I hope to answer the best I can.
Fred, once the
Yes.
pandemic is over and I take it that they will be having live talks that you could go to in Toronto, and is that where you would need the meetup?
I think so. Yes, it'll probably be back at their facility. That's on College Street. I'm pretty sure. So far, because of COVID, they were streaming all over the world. So you had someone from Microsoft that was doing a presentation in Seattle, and they had someone that talked in Australia or somewhere in Europe. And while I was listening to it, I'm like, time zones are different, so it must be night or other time difference from when they were online. So that was really intriguing. But yeah, they have different people that works in Microsoft that actually have um, a saying from all over the world. But yeah, I find that with COVID and live streaming is really interesting because I usually go at night or at noontime, and listening to what they're saying. And while I listen, I can do something else.